Megan.
And I'm Bree Basa. Now
Today
we turn to Anna, who is showing us the process of foot binding.
Post classical China, where young mother Megan is about to wrap her firstborn daughter Helena's foot. This is an ancient practice that has been rejected by other cultures such as the Mongols and the Japanese. Megan will now explain the process.
So you make a small, large incision under the foot and you bind the foot super tight so it grows in on itself, because in order to get a husband you need to have teeny tiny feet.
Dainty feet. How do you feel about this, Helena?
I'm really excited because it will get me a husband.
Wow, that says a lot. Thank you. We'll come back later and check on this. Bye.
Thanks for that update, Anna.
Now let's go to our field reporter Megan, who's currently in Africa during its conversion to Islam.
Here I am with Mansa Musa. Oh yes. He's a Mali king. He's a Mali king traveling to Mecca on his pilgrimage for Islam. How do you feel about the religion?
It is super cool, and I just love traveling and giving out money. It's just so wholesome, and it makes me feel like I'm a good person to Allah.
You know, it's been said you're even causing inflations in some of the cities you pass through.
Whatever, it's better to be inflated than to not be inflated, because you have a lot of money when you are inflated.
Well, there you have it. Mansa Musa is a prime example of a recently converted Islam in Africa. Back to you guys.
Take it!
Though his intentions were good, Mansa Musa's mass spread of wealth upset and changed entire economies, causing inflation. Here we are in Mesoamerica in the Great Mayan civilization. These people cultivated crops like maize and cocoa. They also used an advanced form of agriculture called slash and burn. Could you describe the process to us?
Cut, burn, soil. Cut, burn, soil. Cut, burn, soil. Cut, burn, soil. Cut, burn, soil.
So you
Burn soil.
So you cut
Burn.
down the crops,
Yes.
then you burn them,
Yes.
and then you put them back
Yes.
in the ground. Okay. There you have it, folks. You cut them down, you burn them, and you put them back. Now let's view a Mayan sacrifice firsthand.
Now let's go over to Europe.
Hello and welcome to Europe, where we are experiencing the cold weather of our mini ice age. We are currently in a time period referred to as the Dark Ages, and right now a mass epidemic known as the bubonic plague is sweeping over the nation. Here's a victim now. How does it feel to be a victim of the plague?
This epidemic has swept through our cities, and 1/3 of our population is gone.
Do you have any ideas of how this plague is spreading?
Well, at first the people thought it was God, but then innocent people started dying, and now we're losing faith in our church.
What are some of the symptoms of the plague?
It starts with fever and discolored fingers, and then we get boils on our face, and then we just die.
You heard it here first. Looks like much has changed in Europe. The church is beginning to lose its power. This image represents the bubonic plague, also known as the Black Death. During this time period, dances with death, displayed here by skeletons, were a common theme in art. This particular image sends a message that no matter who you are or your status, the Black Death could reach you. Now, let's go to Bree, who's currently in Russia.
Action! We have breaking news coming to you live from Kiev, Russia. The Prince Vladimir has abandoned the original pagan traditions of Russia and converted to Christianity. There's going to be a huge change here with people switching religion. I'm so glad we're here. Since we all know the news, tell us why you switched to Christianity.
To be honest, Kiev Russia needed a change. I pondered many religions like Buddhism, Islam, but decided Christianity was best for my people. It helped to strengthen our connection with Byzantine, a major trade partner and influence.
Well, Vladimir, thank you for telling us. That's all the time we have, but let's get into some gossip real quick. I heard you married the Byzantine Emperor's sister.
I did indeed. She's wonderful, and it helps me earn the respect of her people.
That's wonderful. You heard it here first, folks. Let's go on a 252-year commercial break.
Now let's go back to Megan in Africa with her special guest, Ibn Battuta.
Here I am in Africa with Ibn Battuta, an Islamic traveler. What is your view on Africans converting to the religion of Islam?
They are a disgrace to Islam. They suck. I don't like them. They disgrace all of us.
How so?
Because they just run around with their shirts off, and it's just horrible because all of them, that's horrible. All of them doesn't like it, and I don't like it, and no one likes it.
So you're saying they're a disgrace to the religion?
Yeah, I said that.
What's your opinion on converting to Islam? Now we travel east to our reporter Anna as she interviews Genghis Khan, leader of the Mongols.
I join you now with Kublai Khan. He has a lot to say.
I, Genghis Khan's grandson. I recently conquered China for the Mongols. I rule with an iron fist. Resistance is futile. If you go against us, you will die. We are determined to make the Yuan dynasty as prosperous as my grandfather did. We will introvert the culture and blend. You're rambling. Well, thank you and good night.
Welcome back to Mesoamerica. Much has changed. The Mayan civilization has all but disappeared, and a place that used to be thriving with life is now barren. No one knows what happened. Maybe it was an earthquake, maybe a mass epidemic, we cannot be sure. But civilization still lives on. These civilizations are showing much promise. For example, the Olmec came up with their own writing system, similar to that of Egypt's hieroglyphics.
Now let's go over to Europe.
Medieval Europe is currently in a phase referred to as the feudal era, where people have divided themselves into feudal systems due to the lack of central government, whereas East Rome is still intact with central rule. Could you explain this for us?
The feudal system is an economic and political structure. Higher lords are at the top, and then vassals, lesser lords, pledge their allegiance in order for land in their kingdoms. Knights pledge their allegiance to the vassals, promising to serve them and the king. And serfs are workers who pledge all their goods and crops to the vassal, who in turn gives it to the lord, and they are bound to the land they work.
A similar system exists in Japan, currently referred to as the Shogunate age. Back to you!
Breaking news just in. Russia was conquered, yet another territory for the Mongols.
Welcome back to Russia, where the Mongols have recently conquered, adding to the new rapidly growing empire. Russia is managing to keep the peace with these nomadic invaders by paying them tribute and their loyalty. In exchange, they are receiving protection and are now cut off from the rest of the world.
And see. Thank you for joining us on this segment of Channel 13's World Breaking News.
Please enjoy this outro music.
I'm your host, Megan.
And I'm Bree.
And join us next week for another amazing
Now let's go back to Africa with Megan and her special Jess.
Jess? Okay.
Yes.
Again.
And today we go back to Wednesday, January 14th.
Here we we are in post-classical China, where I'm now about to interview young mother Megan, who's just happy you.
Here I am in Islam. Oh, wrong place. Here I am in Africa, where they have recently converted to Islam. This is Mansa Musa.
It's difficult, right? Kublai Khan, he has a lot to say. No, apparently not. Back to you, stage 37. We join you now with Kublai Khan. He has a lot to say.
I recently conquered China. For the Mongols, we rule with iron fists. China is prosperous.
We join you now with Kublai Khan. He has a lot to say.
Well, I recently.
We now join you with Kublai Khan. He has a lot to say.
I recently conquered China for I am Here we are in Mesoamerica, in the Great Mayan Civilization. These people had technology. Dang, I said something like,
Are you constipated?
sorry. These sounds, what happened? No one knows. Was it an earthquake or a disease? Can't be sure. They've all been gone. What am I saying? I don't know. Freaking stars.
This epidemic has swept through our cities, and half of our